This is June, born in July, aka Pisayang Gamay. Welcome to my channel, where you are a star! Please join me as we walk down and up to TINTAGEL Castle. The superb landscape welcomes you prior to reaching the TINTAGEL Castle. TINTAGEL Castle is a historic site situated on the cliff tops of North Cornwall. Due to the rugged coastal landscape, there are steep slopes, sheer drops, and uneven surfaces which can present a challenge to visitors. If you are on your way to the castle, be very extra careful due to the terrain of the place. Begin your journey by climbing the step-free path up to the mainland courtyard, the medieval gateway to the castle. Take in the dramatic cliff-top views before you follow in the footsteps of Tintagel's medieval inhabitants and cross the footbridge to the island. In the Middle Ages, Tintagel's residents walked from one side of the site to the other using a narrow land bridge as high as the cliff tops. But the crossing disappeared between the 14th and 17th centuries, leaving the castle divided by a natural chasm. The new footbridge that connects the mainland of Tintagel to the island was a monumental feat of engineering. It cost over £2.5 million and took over a year to build the two 5-ton cantilevers in Devon. It was transported over to Tintagel, and the construction onto the cliffs took just 2 weeks with a special cable crane. The two pieces were then put together to make a 70-meter long bridge. Tintagel Castle came to prominence as a fortress for medieval Cornish chieftains. Its attachment to Arthurian legend forged by the historian and chronicler Geoffrey of Monmouth, who was the first to suggest that this towering stronghold was the birthplace of King Arthur. As you walk over, you can get some of the best views of the coast, which haven't been seen in over 500 years. But it's not for the faint-hearted, as it takes you 57 meters over the cliffs below. Tintagel Castle is mostly a ruin, but there will be plenty more ruins than you were expecting. These all paint a really good picture of how the castle and medieval village would have looked years ago. English Heritage also does an amazing job of preserving the ruins that are still here, and there are notice boards pretty much every step of the way. These boards will have information on what part of the castle you stood in and sketches of what it would have looked like years ago. These really help to paint a good picture in your mind. The island is so much more than just the ruins. There are so many walking trails that take you to secret spots around here, like the old prison well and the maze of ancient house ruins that were here in the 6th century. You can even imagine yourself feasting in the Great Hall. Another amazing reason to explore more of the island is to take in the magical views of the coastline. From the peninsula, you get 360-degree views of the landscape from Cornish towns, coves, cliff faces. Now that the new bridge has been installed, it may be easy to forget about visiting the secret beach that sits underneath Tintagel Island. It's also completely free to visit. During high tide, you cannot see it, but as the tide goes out, the beach is revealed with a large cave. This cave is called Merlin's Cave, and the legends say that this is where the wizard Merlin lived all those years ago. It's been so well connected with the tales that there is now a sleeping Merlin's face carved into the rocks. If you are exploring North Cornwall, there are plenty of amazing places that you can visit around the area. These make the perfect locations if you're following in the footsteps of King Arthur or chasing the Arthurian tales. Make sure you visit these spots to live the legend. A new addition and highlight to Tintagel Castle is the amazing statue on top of the headland. It is an 8-foot-tall bronze sculpture of King Arthur holding Excalibur that overlooks the Atlantic Ocean. The piece was created by sculptor Reuben Aiden, and it was flown in by helicopter for its construction. It's really cool, as it's almost been made to look ghost-like and hollow due to the fact that he's a legendary king. But again, like the new bridge, this is the controversial, and the residents of Tintagel fear that it added a Disneyfication to the town. You couldn't find a more dramatic location perched on the sweeping cliff tops of North Cornwall, where wild, grassy slopes tumble towards rugged sheers, and the thundering swells of the Celtic Sea pound the bluffs while seabirds ride the squalls. Every year, thousands of visitors travel the coastal road to the characterful parish of Tintagel, seeking out the famous castle ruins that command its headland. It's beneath these tumble-down keeps and courtyards and along these secret winding passageways that the legends of Tintagel still echo, from the romantic sagas of King Arthur to the magic and sorcery of Merlin, the enchanter. A 1,500-year-old slate tablet is believed to add credence to King Arthur's presence in Tintagel and suggests he was a descendant of King Coil, a figure also embedded into Cornish folklore, but perhaps more widely recognized as Old King Cole, the merry old soul in the popular children's nursery rhyme. Furthermore, some of the mythical descriptions of Camelot, Arthur's castle and court, fit the dramatic setting of Tintagel. However, the castle ruins only date back as far as the early 1200s, when it was built under the instruction of Richard, 1st Earl of Cornwall, himself an admirer of Arthurian legend. Among the many works of art to be admired when you roam this captivating coastal enclave is the life-sized bronze sculpture inspired by King Arthur and his chivalric code and the noble past, created by artist Reuben Ainan. The statue is called Gallus, the Cornish word for power. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a bit of history about Tintagel Castle. Thank you for watching. See you then.